Have you ever missed like 20 minutes of a show or a movie, and when you come back to it, you think, how did this happen? How did we get here? How did this character change so quickly? Last week, we were in Matthew 3, and we heard John the Baptist out in the wilderness talking about Jesus, introducing people to Jesus, helping them to see that Jesus was the one. Now we're in chapter 11, and John the Baptist has been arrested. We're like, well, how'd that happen, right? It's only been 7 days for us, but a lot has happened in the life of John and of Jesus. John is arrested because he's pushing a little too hard. The same reason that Jesus will be arrested. He's pushing the political and the religious ways too much, and they arrest him. But while he sits in his cell, he starts to wonder. He starts to ask the questions that I think all of us ask if we're honest. So he sends his disciples to ask, are you the one, or should we wait for another? And I think in the darkness of our life, all of us have said, where are you, God? Why have you forsaken me, God? Are you the one, or did I just believe a whole bunch of stuff that isn't true? And like John the Baptist, we seek the answer. We want to know it. And sometimes in history, we have beat people up with that. We have said that the opposite of faith is doubt, and we made them feel really bad. Or the only thing that the opposite of faith is throughout Scripture is fear. Doubt seems to be a part of faith. And we see it very clearly in John the Baptist, especially this weekend. Flannery O'Connor wrote to a friend, he said, I don't know how the kind of faith required of a Christian living in the 20th century can be at all if it's not grounded on the experience of unbelief. The prayer, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief, is the most natural and most human and most agonizing prayer in the Gospels. And I think it is the foundation prayer of faith. Barbara Brown Taylor writes, by the time I resigned as pastor from Grace Calvary Church, I had arrived at an understanding of faith that had far more to do with trust than certainty. I trusted God to be God, even if I could not say who God was for sure. I trusted God to sustain the world, although I could not say for sure how it happened. I trusted God to hold me and those I loved in life and in death without giving me one shred of conclusive evidence that it was so. This understanding had the welcome effect of changing faith from a noun to a verb for me. I love that on this Sunday that we celebrate joy, we hear about John the Baptist being really real. He asks that authentic question, are you the one? I think it can help us in the season of Advent to move from a place of such certainty to mystery, to walk into that mystery together, trusting that God might be bigger than even my doubts and my fears. Remember, John the Baptist did not live to see Jesus die and rise again. He was long gone before that happened. He trusted in the promise when Jesus said, I am the one, even in the midst of his doubts. I really appreciate the way Cam Miller thinks about people of faith. He has been a pastor and a recovering alcoholic for 38 years. He wonders if the church might be an easier place for people to come to if we acted a little bit more like an AA group. That if pastors cared a little bit more about welcoming people than pomp and circumstance. If when people came in, what they heard from the pastor was, yep, you came to the right place because we're all broken here. And he said, like an AA group, they also know a great deal about humor, self-deprecation, in a good way, and joy. That it's a place because they have been fully revealed, they can be fully known, and they can share joy too. He said, what if when someone came to the church with their woundedness, what they could say is, I don't understand, but I want to know more about it. Everyone here is obviously broken, and yet they have so much fun. What if that's where this piece is with John the Baptist? That we know enough. We have been hurt, we have lost, we have wondered, and we have been found again in God's grace. Not anything we did, but somehow we found that joy because someone came along beside us in the night and said, you're not alone. Someone came next to us and said, I'm here for you. Someone came and brought us a plate of cookies, and it felt like sacramental love. And we knew in that moment that these promises were real. Matthew declares that Jesus came and continues to come to us, but not to make everything better. It doesn't mean we never have pain, we never have suffering. What it means is God is with us in that. That there is no darkness that Jesus will not walk into with us. That there is no animosity that Jesus has not faced, and he comes to us and keeps on coming. So why joy today? Most of what I said sounds a little depressing, a little bit overwhelming. But what if that's where joy comes from? We all know about happiness. We've all had moments of happiness. But that deep joy that came from that place where the hurt seemed too deep, where the grief seemed paralyzing, where the diagnosis seemed more than we could handle, and yet we experienced joy. I've been with people in horrible situations, and I always hear them say, I'm so grateful. It's not what I ever expected. It's the last thing I expected. Because somewhere in there, a nurse was so kind to them, or a friend came along, or a doctor said, you're not alone. And everything changed for them in that moment, and it's not where we expected joy. We expect to be happy on our birthday. We expect to have a little bit of joy, hopefully, on holiday. But in those dark places, we're always surprised by the depth of joy. If you notice again, today's texts all remind us of the way the kingdom is supposed to be. So joy is not something we just manufacture. All those words we have like hope and joy, once again, it's action. That joy we get to participate in. That we trust that we are a part of this kingdom that's breaking in, and we are surprised by joy as we participate. Abraham Lincoln was known for going to the Presbyterian Church near the White House every Wednesday while he was serving as president. One particular Wednesday, the service got done, and his assistant asked, what did you think of the sermon? He said he had excellent material. He's an elegant speaker. He said you could tell he worked really hard on it. So his assistant said, so you mean it was a great sermon? He said, I didn't say that. He said, yeah, but you said he had great content. It was an excellent sermon. It was excellent material. His delivery was great. Lincoln replied, no, I said the content was excellent. The preacher spoke well. But on this night, he forgot one important matter. He forgot to ask us to do something great. Our texts today remind us that we're asked to do something great. Are we going to change the world? We'll probably not change the whole world, but we get to watch that kingdom breaking as we feed the hungry. Look at the number of gifts that will give clothing to so many, 60-some children. We dance and we sang about light, and the money will go towards church on the street, but lives are changed in hearing that story. What a depressing story. The other night, a young person said, it's so sad she died. Lucia dies, and it is sad. It is so sad. And out of that, somehow we celebrate joy and light and love. Advent reminds us of another world that's possible. That somehow new life can arise from ruins, that the desert can bloom, that life can change, and God initiates it, and we get to be participants in it. What an honor, what a privilege. And somehow from the brokenness, from the pain and the suffering, we have this word that comes to us, this word joy. I'd like to close with words by Jan Richardson called Blessing to Summon Rejoicing. When your weeping has watered the earth, when the storm has been long, and the night and the season of your sorrowing, when you have seemed an exile from your life, lost in the far country, a long way from where your comfort lies, when the sound of splintering and fracture haunts you, when despair attends you, when lack, when trouble, when fear, when pain, when empty, when lonely, when too much of what depletes you and not enough of what restores and rests you, then let there be rejoicing. Then let there be dreaming. Let there be laughter in your mouth and on your tongue shouts of joy. Let the seed soaked by tears turn to grain, to bread, to feasting. Let there be coming home. Amen.